Why not just write it down? As we are getting into our third series of the night, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Cosmic Sapphire, we have the CranKy Duckling himself, the American Terran. He is yellow. He is Dolan. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Cosmic Sapphire ESL, we have the Canadian Zerg player representing his brand new team, licensed to kill LTK. It is Flood. And Flood is being clowned on a little bit here. I want to give a special shout out to Dastan in the chat. ¿Qué pasó, papi? Buenos días. Y funada Dastan. Why are we funadaing Dastan? Because Dastan, he is a Chilean Protoss player. He's amazing. He's beautiful. He is GM, and he also did not sign up for the qualifiers. Mate, ¿qué pasó? ¿Por qué no estamos ahí? Why were you not in the Latin American qualifiers? Shaking my head. Meanwhile, also a shout out to Baby Links as well, as we do see some people are waking up in the land of the Australias. But back to the clowning, as Dolan is going for a proxy 2 racks. Oh boy, thankfully Flood is going to be scouting in that direction, and it looks like based off of his Overlord scout he will be able to come across this, but what's important is that this is a very uncommitted proxy. It is only 2 raxes. You can transition from here, you can macro from here, unlike say a 3 racks or a 4 racks, which is much more committed and much more all in. The Overlord does scout this, by the way. I love that Dolan is going for a signature move. He is, oh my god, he is going for a 3rd SCV to come across the map, and the reason for this, we were able to see this in World Team League. With 3 SCVs, you pretend or you disguise this as a 3 racks, because why would you have 3 SCVs if there weren't 3 raxes? So this is to force a major reaction. Flood pulls every single one of his boys. Oh my god, but the wall is a wall, and drones are going to be targeted down. A massive reaction here from Flood. A drone is already going to be able to fall. Do we have a cancel? We have a cancel. We do not. We have a kill, not a cancel on the first bunker. The second bunker is close to going down as well, but the Marines are here, and this will be saved. Flood throwing down four spines. I think he's been bamboozled. Even though he scouted 3 racks, because of the 3 SCVs, I think he misread the situation. Like Dolan is already transitioning. We don't need this puppy. Oh my god. Meanwhile, we do have a mass round. Oh my god, 2 Marines do go down before they make it into the bunker. Very nicely done here by Flood. Bunker is going to be killed. Flood is going to defend. He is going to hold. But again, this was a pretty big commitment to hold on. Dolan ahead in workers. Oh. Meanwhile, a little bit of a misrally here. Looks like 1 Marine will go down as well. Eventually, this will be cleaned up, but with the help of these 2 Marines, there we go. He's going to be able to hold on to his proxy location. Flood thankfully canceled the remainder of his spines. He only needed 2 of them in the end. But did he really need 2 of them? As it was a hatch gas pool opener, this is setting himself behind a little bit here. So Flood is still down in workers. He hasn't pulled back into gas, which means he still won't be able to get into link speed. He won't be able to get into a roach warren or a lair or anything. Like, Flood is still struggling to recover from the opener. Meanwhile, he's going for a little bit of a link run by across the map. The Marines are on the way. Only 4 Marines though, going to force a repair here. Dolan has to be really careful. Like, these Marines, if he's not too careful, they can be surrounded, they can be cleaned up. Yeah, the Marines do rock up in the end. The stutter stepping is going to be good enough, as he does end up kiting as best as he can, shaving off as many of these lings. It looks like the control is good enough. Dolan cleans up the lings. Oh. And Dolan is not letting up on the aggression. This is a terrifying moment. Why? Medevacs on the way. We're going to be seeing a Hellion drop. We're going to be seeing a drop into the main base, and Flood has nothing to defend. He has 2 spines at the natural, and because of all the damage that he sustained earlier, because of his late 3rd base, because of his late gases, he is droning. He is droning his heart out right now because he has to catch up, and he thinks that he's safe because of the spines. But the Medevac is going to bypass the spines. Look at the units tab. He has 3 lings. Slow lings. Again, because of the late gases, because of the opener, like, ling speed is nowhere near being done. Oh no. It all depends on the angle of attack here for Dolan. We do have an Overlord here. We do have a couple of Overlords. We do have Flood taking control of the Xel'Naga, but Dolan avoids all of that. He threads the needle, and he is going to go over the third base. So Flood will barely get eyes on the medevac. He can respond. There we go. Immediately, 6 Lings are on the way. The Queens are off creep, though. I don't think he's seen it. He should, though. Flood does have an Overlord in position, and here we go. The Hellions, they dive on in, but the Queens are not where they need to be. Evo Chamber will slow things down. That will definitely help out the mineral line here of Flood. But it's not enough to slow down. It's not enough to stop these Hellions. Ooh. As Link Speed just finishes up, and in the end, the Hellions will be forced all the way back. But 6 drones just went down. Again, still well worth it here for Dolan. It could have been worse, though. It could have been so much worse. I do think that a big reason as to why Flood was able to defend was that very fast Evo Chamber to wall off and his Overlord spread. He was able to spot that drop. Meanwhile, Dolan, doing Dolan things, is going from here into a tech lab on that starport. We have a fusion core. We are going into BCs. Again, just abusing the fact that Flood, he was delayed earlier when it comes to his gases. I'm afraid to look at the units tab, but we have 4 Queens right now. Basically, three injecting Queens and 1 Queen to spread creep. Ugh. So we just don't have much anti-air at all. We don't have any spores. We have nothing that really shoots up other than those handful of Queens. We have mass Hellion coming across the map. This is going to force a reaction from Flood, as Flood is supply blocked. He needs to make as many links as possible to respond to these Hellions, but the BC, that could just end everything. Hellions already diving on in. They force all the Queens to respond. They have to respond, but the BC comes in. And I think this is just the nail in the coffin. The boys are pulled as well. Oh my god, Dolan just abusing the opener so much. 3 Queens are going to go down. There's an armory behind this. The Hellbats morph in. And there is nothing that Flood can do. We do have a couple of Banelings, and they are going to help, don't get me wrong. Spines are repositioning. Flood making the most out of a bad situation, but he just doesn't have the Queens. Spore does morph in desperation here, but the natural has been forfeit. GG gets called, and Dolan takes the first game. Oh my god. GG. Meanwhile, see, this is the versus Rocker waiting room. Hello, Rocker. Hello. Welcome, welcome. Yes, I did mention earlier that Rocker is waiting in the qualifying match for the winner of this series for either Dolan or Flood. And here we go. Game number 2 is going to be on Inside and Out. If we get to game 3, that will be held on Moondance. If we get there. So far, again, Dolan just having a great start to Cosmic Sapphire. It is his go-to TvZ opener. I say go-to. He's done it a couple of times, you know. He's got some cheeky builds up his sleeve. But we are now getting into game number 2 and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Inside and Out. We have the CranKy Duckling himself representing the stream, the team, the dream. It's the American Terran. He is yellow. He is Dolan. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Inside and Out ESL, we have the Canadian Zerg player representing Team License to Kill LTK. It is Flood. Flood not going for an extractor trick, but opening up gas first. Going for a gas pool opener. This could be a couple of things. We could be seeing a bit of a 3-point. I know 3-point has been rocking this build on the North American ladder and wreaking havoc on the NA ladder as well against unsuspecting Terran players, where 3-point goes for a gas first build, he goes for Link Speed, he goes for a Baneling Vest, and he goes for a Ling Bane Bust. Very aggressive, very committed. So this is kind of leaning in that direction. The other option, obviously, as well, is to go into a Roach Warren for a bit of a Roach push. We'll see where Flood goes from here. as Dolan, like he has done every single game so far, other than last, to be fair, he didn't do it last game because he proxied, but Dolan is going for an SCV scout, and with this scout, he is going to confirm the late hatchery. He is going to know that it is at least a pool first opener. He can go into the main base, and if these lings do not stop the SCV, which they will not, he can click on this gas geyser and recognize it is a gas first build. Meanwhile, Flood, he does get his first 100 gas, and he does not pull completely out of gas, so he is intending to go into that Bailey nest. Meanwhile, the SCV again confirms at least the lings coming out across the map. 4 lings in total here for Flood. We have 50 gas, and it is not a Bailey nest, it is a Roach Warren. Oh my. Now that the Reaper is out, it looks like he's going to be able to make short work of these lings. It's so important for Dolan to get into the main base, and again, there's no reason for him not to. This build is very suspect. 2 lings already going down. 3 lings go down, but Dolan does take a couple of hits. He has to back off. He has to regen that HP, my apologies, and rotate into the main base. Oh, that one queen is off of creep. That one queen cannot keep up, and that Reaper is going to be able to get a full scout off. Aye. There we go. Looking at the vision of Dolan, he does see that Roach Warren. All the lings have been cleaned up. He confirms no cancel on the Roach Warren either. And the fact that we have ling speed. So it is going to be roaches and lings to reinforce. Lings to flood for flood. I wonder if that's why he named himself this. Aye. Now, a couple of things just happened. After the Reaper scouted and after the Reaper was pushed away, Flood started droning. So I have to wonder if his initial plan was to go for a Roach Ling all-in, but because he got scouted, he is attempting to transition. So despite the fact that he got Ling speed, he's not making use of it. He is droning his heart out, and he's working on a 3rd base. So he's feigning an all-in, forcing a reaction out of Dolan. But Dolan, he has had plenty of time to react. We do have a bunker on the low ground. We have a Cyclone on the way behind this. Boys are being pulled. It looks like the bunker will finish up just in time. And without the help of any Ravagers, this bunker is going to be able to deal with at least a handful of these roaches. Ooh, 2 roaches go down. We have a mass repair. The bunker will not fall. Cyclone comes out as well. Dolan will hold the high ground. Sorry, low ground. He will not even need to hold the high ground. He holds both grounds. He's all about that ground. So, oh my god, a very nice defense here. He only loses 3 SCVs. A very solid start to the game for Dolan as he cleans up every single roach. Oof. Thankfully, Flood does have Ling speed behind this, and he won't just die to any kind of early counterattack. He can help reinforce, and he can hold on with Lings. But Flood is behind in the economy. He's equal in workers, which is never a good thing for Zerg. He does have a 3rd on the way, don't get me wrong, but it is a little bit later than he would like. And I worry because look at this Marine count. Dolan went into a 2-1-1, and I think that is perfect to deal with what Flood has done. Dolan is going to be hyper aggressive here with his first 2 medevacs with a stim timing, and without creep, without queens, with only lings, I really worry for Flood. Oh. Again, a very smart follow-up here from Dolan after the damage has been dealt. Cyclone is going to be caught out here in the middle of the map, not before killing an Overlord, so at least that Cyclone traded a little bit, but nicely done here by Flood. He is able to gain that map control. Meanwhile, back at home, 3rd TC. Obviously, a 2-1-1 isn't all in by any means. No, it is going to be a transition point. But I really worry that these 2 medevacs may end the game. Looking at the vision here of Flood, he wasn't able to confirm the opener. Now he spots both medevacs. Oh boy, did he see them though? The Overlord saw them. The Overlord is going to confirm the opener, by the way. Is going to see all 2 Raxes. But he's droning. We only have 11 links to defend. I do not think this is enough, Flood. He's supply blocked. No, he loses the Overlord across time. He's going to lose another Overlord as well. These Marines are going to end the game. They stim on forward. The lings are going to come in from behind, but again, we only have 11 lings. The solo stepping is going to be good enough. We only have 2 queens to defend as well, and it's just not enough, Buffy. The queens for the drones are forced off the line. The boys are pulled, and this 2-1-1 follow-up ends the game. GG gets called, and Dolan takes the series 2-1. 2-0, sorry. Aye. GG, well played. And with that, Dolan will move on to a qualifying match to face someone who is in the chat right now. We all see you. Rocker in the chat is going to be going up against Dolan in a best of 5. Oh, and yeah, we're going to need some time to prepare. Oh my god. GG, well played there by Dolan. Flood, after the first game, it makes sense that Flood would want to be the aggressor, and I don't blame him for going for that faster Roach Warren, but it all got scouted in the end by that Reaper. Unfortunately, Flood wasn't able to deny the Reaper scouts, and on top of that, I appreciate that he was trying to transition into drones, but he overcommitted with his Roach push. Like, if he understands that the Roaches aren't going to deal enough damage, if he understands that Dolan is good enough to respond, committing as hard as he did really put him even further behind. He threw away 7 or 8 Roaches in that attack at the natural, and he got 3 SCVs for it. If those Roaches, or if he made less Roaches, or if he had saved those Roaches to defend against the follow-up counter-attack, then the game would have gone on. Maybe. It's hard to say. It's hard to say whether he would have been able to defend against a 2-on-1. You could argue that maybe he was just too far behind anyway. If he had made less Roaches upon being scouted, maybe he would have been able to drone up faster as well. It's it's a rough position to be in if you're going for an all-in like that, and if you get scouted and if you get stopped. It's one of the risks and one of the gambles that you take here in StarCraft. And with that, Dolan is going to be moving on to that qualifying match. Another license to kill player. Again, I did see Rocker there in that chat.